Mwebale nnyo mwebale ddala meeting etambudde bulungi tubadde mu lukiiko mulimu Uganda Police Force ba agents ba candidates naffe abakakiiko kekulonda kwegamba twasalawo nti tujja kubeeranga n'enkuŋŋaana buziti nga tulabe enkuŋŋaana olwokubiri kuba presidential campaign zitandika mu mwezi oguwedde kati tubadde tugeraageranya ku nsonga nnyingi nnyo tulabe nti ennaku asatu kati eziweddeko emirimu gitambula gitya ebintu bitambula bitya ebikwata ku campaign okutwalira wamu ba agents bonna beebaziza wanabaga nti otwalira wamu bintu kyatambula bulungi poliisi ekola ogwayo wadde waliwo obuntu butonotono obeera bujja ne poliisi nayo neeraga naffe nga kakiiko netubabuulira aba agents bye betulaba tusinziira ku mukutu oba betulaba ku mativi nti engeri ba agents ba candidates omu tebagondera guidelines n'amateeka agakwata ku ngeri balina kukola campaigns bagenda ne bakola campaign bonna bwe basanga oba mu trading center mu makubo mu butale bwe basanga bantu ne tubagamba nti kiba kimenya amateeka ne guidelines kubanga candidate akkirizibwa okugenda mu kifo yategeeza ab'ebitongole by'okwerinda ng'akolaganya wamu n'aba agents ba poliisi nti candidate agenda kubeera mu kifo bwe kiti naye kakati bw'ogenda buli kkubo n'oyimirira nawano n'oyimirira ekyo kiba kityoboola oba kiba kimenya guidelines naye okitugamba mulongooseemuka ebintu bisobole okutambula bulungi naye mukutwalira okukobwamu buli omu agamba nti ebintu bitambula bulungi ba agents basobola okutuukira ba candidates baabwe okugjaku waliwo oba omu ba babiri bagamba nti poliisi bategezaako bagaana oba bakugira okugenda neziba makubo naye byonna ensonga zitunuuliramu kwegamba olukuŋŋaana lubadde lulungi okutwalira wamu ensonga enayo tugyogeddeko ne tugamba nti ekyokuziba makubo n'otaataganya abannayuganda oba bannansi abalala abapoliisi si kirungi si kyabwenkanya ne tugamba nti ekintu kyogenda mu butale n'okuba enkunga oba n'oyogera eri abantu abali mu butale si kyabwenkanya poliisi negamba tugezezaako nnyo mwami Frank Musugadaivu Corporation aba tugezezaako nnyo okulaba nti tetuleetawo ati okweraliikirira mu ngeri gyetukwatamu aba candidates abatagondera amateeka oba guidelines naye babalabula ne bagamba nti kintu tujja kigumiikiriza kubanga ffe nga poliisi tulina okuba gwaffe omulimu gwaffe tulabe nti ebiragiro w'amateeka galina okugobererwa guidelines za electoral commission zirina okugobererwa naffe ntubagamba nti banange ba candidates ba agents mugambe ba candidates nti abeere bakakamu abeere bakungu amateeka ge tuteekako gakwata ku buli omu kabeere incumbent kabeere candidate gundi buli omu kimukakatako okulaba nti agondera guidelines za electoral commission noga nti twagala eggwanga lyaffe libeeremu akatabanguko olw'okuba nti abantu tuli mu kulonda nedda tetukyetaaga tukyetaagira ddala. Going forward, we agreed one, we continue to engage with one another. Two, let the agents restrain their candidates from breaking the law, and many of them have undertaken to take this message to their candidates. Then three, that the Uganda Police Force should ensure that if a candidate is heading to a designated campaign venue, they should not try to block the route going to that place. For no reason, okay, for no reason, so that we do not lead some kind of disharmony in the whole process. But also, one thing that emerged was the RDCs. I'm told some of the RDCs are blocking candidates from accessing or from holding the campaigns or the rallies at the designated campaign venue, which is very wrong. I'm going to take up this matter with the Minister of the Presidency, because I understand she's one that office one which is in charge of RDCs, and want to emphasize that what is taking place is a lawful process. the constitutional and governance framework of our country. And second, every candidate who was duly nominated and has indicated his campaign program and harmonized with the others is at liberty to get to any part of the country and carry out campaigns at a designated venue. Thirdly, if a venue has been booked by the candidate and for no reason it is cancelled, then that needs to be addressed, because we don't want people there who are under the guise of carrying out their duties, frustrating the constitutional process, trying to create another trajectory, what is an otherwise peaceful, tranquil, and cordial process of campaigns. So I'm going to talk to the Office of the Presidency and make sure the RDCs, some of the RDCs who are trying to portray the whole exercise in a negative light, call it order, so that we don't have this in our country. This do not want to name them because, as I said, for now we are trying to create harmony. But from now, if any candidate does not comply with the law, one, we shall name them and call them out in public. Two, we may ask the police to apply the law, because the law is very clear. If any candidate campaigns outside the framework of the law, he or she commits an offense, and we are not going to allow that. If any candidate uses any language that is inciting, that is sectarian, that disrupts the common good and the common peace, then that candidate should be called to order. But we are now saying this going forward, let the candidate agents caution their candidates to follow the law, follow the guidelines, and act in a civil manner. Processions are not allowed. Processions are not allowed. And the other thing that some of the agents complained about was the law appeared to be applied in a discriminatory manner. And the police have been advised that, look, the law governing the elections cuts across all. Everybody is subject to the law, be it who or who. Thank you very much. Let me go on listening to local government petitions. I think I told you we had received over 200. Today, as we talk now, we have received, I think, over 50 parliamentary petitions. Some are already lined up today. We are going to hear about 19 or 20 petitions today. The petitioners and the people being petitioned against are already here. We are going to start hearing this petition, because for us time is not on our side. We have to start printing ballot papers, but we cannot print ballot papers after we have determined who is going to be on the ballot paper and who is not going to be there. So we are going to hear this petition right now. Kakati tugenda okuwuliriza emisango okwemulugunya okuwava okusunsulwa kwabo bagenda kwesimbawo ku kifo ky'abamemba of parliament. Waliwo abantu bangi bemulugunya bagamba nti yani batasunsulwamu, bagamba nti gundi yasunsulwa talina ebisaanyizo bimukiriza okubeera ku ballot paper. Kati ze ensonga tugenda kuwuliza, ndowooza mubalabye batulinze awo mu tenkiya, tugenda okuwuliza ensonga ezo tusalemu kiki ekigendo, ani agenda ku baloti, ani atabeera. Mwebale nyikirizibwa okugiyingiramu. So pulezidenti tanatambula n'ekivu ky'abantu ng'ava kulaalinda ekyo kimanyiddwa nawe mu Kampala mu kirabo pulezidenti baba atambula teri ayingira konkoye kakati era teri kituuseemu eyo gyonna gyatambulira. RDC kyogeddwako wano ngu abamu tebakkiriza bacandidates okukola enkungaana. Ekyo ekibanga kituufu kikyamu, kubanga candidate wa kibiina kyonna bw'abanga ali registered by Electoral Commission alina puroguramu mu district eyo, kyemanyika kubanga puroguramu eno bagiteeka mu mawulire eri public knowledge. Nga candidate oyo aliko wakubeera mu district yo, kati RDC tolina buyinza bumugaana kukola raleze iraali yalina mu district, okujjako ng'ogamba mbu tagoberedde mateeka nga bwe gali nga bwe gateekeddwa. Ekyo awo osobola okugamba mbu RDC abadde mutuufu. Esaawa tugamba saawa raali zibeerawo tasukka saawa 12 obadde okuba raali saawa emu, awo RDC ayinza okuba. Naye mu meeting tukiziganyizza oyo yenna aba afunye obuzibu obwo
ategeeza Electoral Commission okutereevu. Electoral Commission eyingire mu nsonga eyo. Ekirala Electoral Commission nayo chairman yagambye agenda kuwandikira minisita akulira RDC minisita wa presidency amutegeeze naye ekyo kisaba omubuzibwawo kubanga RDC when you make such accusations, some of them you want to ignore them because you assume the person making such an accusation is intelligent. It looks like the people are not intelligent because the president candidate of Museveni, by virtue of being a president, in many cases he moves in a helicopter from 20 to 20. So have you seen you people in the press? Have you seen the processions in the air? Have you seen any? Two, by virtue of security, nobody is allowed to join the presidential convoy. You have seen it here in Kampala and everywhere. So have you seen the presidential convoy being joined in a procession? That's not true. So, but some people when they look like that, we just ignore them. They should be simply ignored. Otherwise, I don't see any seriousness in them. Well, RDCs, I've heard even in the meeting, there was a complaint that some RDCs have been blocking candidates, other candidates from holding either rallies or in the districts. If that's true, then that's wrong. Because as an RDC, everybody knows there are campaigns around the country. So why would an RDC stop a presidential candidate from holding a campaign meeting unless if that person is not following the guidelines set by the Electoral Commission? One needs to investigate. But the Commission has agreed that whoever faces such a confrontation with RDC, let them raise the issue directly with the Electoral Commission, so that the Commission can now investigate case by case. Otherwise, it's wrong for NRDC to stop a candidate following the guidelines as they are stated from holding their rallies. NRM, chairman of the Commission, whatever to Gamba, candidates abamu, tebagoberera amateeka aga campaign, ng'ekyokulabirako kutagenda kutambula mu bantu n'abantu bangi ogenda bulwale nga muli ng'abagumba oba okukola campaign rally ng'essaawa 12 nga zimaze okuyita. Ekitiibwa Yoweri Kaguta Museveni candidate wa NRM agoberera amateeka era mu ebyo byonna byogerwako talina tteeka lyamenyeeko kubanga ye agoberera amateeka tacampaigninga nga ssaawa 12 ziweze ate ekirala tagenda n'abantu bakumba mu procession agenda ku rally tekiriiyo ate ajja kubeerayo. So ffe byaffe era tubali tuwulira buwuliriza naye nga ffe tugoberera amateeka ate tusaba n'abalala bonna bagoberera amateeka kampeyini ejja kutambula bulungi. Mainly the Commission raised the issue of people not complying with the election guidelines which were given to us, and as you all know, our candidate Yoweri Museveni applied. So basically, what we're just listening, we have no incident where our candidate has failed to follow the guidelines as given by the Electoral Commission. For instance, making sure you end your campaigns before 6 p.m. You have not campaigned beyond 6 p.m. Avoiding processions. We have not had any procession with the candidate. So as far as the NRM is concerned, we are following the guidelines and the law as guided by the Electoral Commission.
Do you have any concerns towards other parties?
I can't be concerned for us. We are minding our own business. If others are not following the law, that's the work of the EC and the police. It's not for us to enforce it. The police to enforce in working with the Electoral Commission. For any candidate who is not following the law. Yeah.
Which report? My name is Ebualu Jonathan. I am Member of Parliament from Soroti and the official agent of the FDC. We have attended a meeting chaired by the chairman of the commission, and we have pointed out a number of issues that we hope that he will be able to work with the different institutions of government to resolve. Number one, the interference of our rallies by the Uganda police and the military. The police and the military interfered with our rallies in Jinja, in Iganga, in Leira, in Bulisa, in Masindi, in Hoima, and yesterday in Kitigum. The venues that were cleared and we communicated to the police late in the afternoon, the police barricaded all these venues, they put a lot of roadblocks and denied us to access these venues. We have raised that ably with the Uganda police, with the Electoral Commission. Number two, we have seen processions of the NRM, of candidate General Museveni, the processions in all the major cities and towns being protected by the Uganda police, but they are interfering with our meetings of the opposition. We have told the Commission to preside over this so that we have the equal ground for all of us to campaign. Number three, I have raised it. We went and booked a radio in Bundibujo, but the RDC, in his wisdom or lack of the same, went and instructed the officials, the managers of the radio, to stop us from accessing the radio. We booked a Kibwa Stadium in Lira. We communicated to the Uganda police. The RDC later on went and instructed the management of the stadium to block our rally in a Kibwa Stadium. So all these interferences we have raised with the Electoral Commission, and we hope that the Electoral Commission, as they have promised, will be able to resolve this so that we have a level ground in our campaigns. Three, or number four rather, the police is forcing us to pass longer routes. You know that you must cross, if you want to cross, say for instance, you want to go and campaign in a ward called Agora in Soroti. You have to cross through the center of town from Opuyo up to Agora. Now the police has to make you pass through different districts to reach that area, affecting our rallies and the time of the rallies. We have raised this with the Commission, and the chairman has promised to handle this, and we hope that they'll be able to handle this so that we have a peaceful campaign, because we know that there will be Uganda after this. We have seen people, leaders come and go. So these ones who think that they are now in charge of everything, even their time will come and they will go. I thank you.
Official agent wa candidate Mugisha olwaleero tuzze wano continuing an exercise gyetubadde tujja tubeerako ey'okwasesinga n'okuexamininga process nga webadde gyetambula era n'olwaleero bye tubaddeko. Ndowooza kanjogere ku resolutions ezimu ze tuvudde nazo way forward. Ekisooka ku kubeera ne swift okwanguyizibwa okudda mu coordination. Nti ebiseera ebisinga tuba coordinatinga ne security forces ne tucontacting Electoral Commission ne batayanguwa kukola ki kuddamu mangu. So ekyo ne tukyogerako. Then ekyokubiri kyekya obudde bwabadde boogerako nti bakandidates awamu ba campaigninga ng'essaawa 12 ekitakirizibwa mu mateeka naye tubasaba babeere nga babitegeera kubanga ekisooka state y'enguudo zaffe nti abantu bakeererezwa olw'olumu ne poliisi obalemesa otuuka ku rallies ate nga jjukira tukola gundi districts at least ekitone nnyo 2 buli lunaku, so kiba kizibu oconnecting okuva mu district emu okudda mu ddala obudde ne buyita. So nabo tubasabye babeere bantu ebintu ebimu baba babiraba nabo nti bikozingibwa lwansonga. So zizo ensonga zitugeddemu. Okay, my name is Bichwa Rogers, official agent of candidate Mugisha. Yeah, today we had a continuation of what we have been having of the meetings with the Electoral Commission and the security agencies. Yeah, I will go direct to the way forward. We have said that one, the Electoral Commission, we should have a swift a response in regard to what we are communicating among us. That normally communicate to the Electoral Commission and then they take long to respond, and yet we need that quick response so that we can go forward. Then the other thing is the time campaigning beyond beyond 6 p.m. So we have requested them that they should consider one, the poor road conditions that we have. They hinder, these presidential candidates to reach on time, and also that we are doing 2 districts per day. So in most cases you may be caught up somewhere and then you reach later at the venue. So we requested them that we should be human and consider all these factors so that we have a smooth and peaceful campaigns.
Well, meeting in a routine, Electoral Commission, agents for candidates,
ne Uganda Police Force babeera ne meeting okwongera okulaba nti waliwo okukolagana ennungi wakati wa parties ezo esatu abeesimbyewo Electoral Commission ne Uganda Police Force nti bwe wabaawo ensonga zonna ezize zirwatukako mu process eno zibeere handled immediately. So kyekibadde kigenda mu maaso wano. Agents of presidential candidates, Electoral Commission and Uganda Police Force. These meetings are aimed at harmonizing to make sure that any emerging issues on the campaign trail are resolved and that we don't have unnecessary friction. The meeting went well. We had a number of concerns, especially relating to the unfair enforcement of election laws by the Uganda Police Force, where it in many cases acts in a manner that is intended to disadvantage us and give advantage to NRA.
Meeting yaffe eyokubiri agents bakandise kulaba nti tukolera wamu nga security kulaba nti zino campaigns zigenda mu maaso naye side yaffe ya security tukyalinamu ensonga ezirowooza nti ba agents bagende boogere ne candidates baabwe ekisooka okubeera ne campaigns mu makati ga amatawu and other business centers, illegal processions olusi bakiisatiisa n'abasirikale baffe nga tuba deploying mwakalaba ebyabadde lira so tubadde tubabuulira nti ekyo kijja kukikiriza ate buli omu agezaako okulaba nti atawanya sekirite nga tukola emirimu gyaffe naffe tujja kuvaayo tubakwate
balina byebabasabye naye nga tebakusobola kubiteeka mu nkola
babadde balina concern zaabwe naye twababulidde waayi tukola bwe tuti ate bakitegedde kubanga balina kopi za guidelines ekisooka kulaba nti campaign zikoma sawa 12 but candidates abamu baagala bakampeininge paka saawa emu ezo guidelines baziina ate tubavudde ne bakitegeera so tusuubira nti kuva mu meeting eno tujja kulaba nti waliwo enkyukakyuka engeri gya candidates bagenda kweyisamu abanoonya akalala
singa balemererwa okuteeka mu nkola
amateeka waliwo amateeka tujja kugateeka mu nkola kulaba nti bakolanga amateeka ate ekyenguuto ffe tuteekako katofusi zaffe kumpi ne venues kubanga olaba venues ezimu zibeera kumpi n'ebifo ebirimu ng'obutale ate jjukira muntu aba alimu emirimu gyabwe ey'obutale twagala ino kampeni zibataawaanya so kyoba olaba tuteekako katofusi naye olusi bacandidates babeera ne flag bearers baagala batwale mu bifo byonna mu sub county zonna ate bwe batuuka ku venue rate bakikuleminge ku security ekyo si kituufu bacandidates balina agents abagala bati bagende nabo preview ate ekyo kireetera ekimu kulaba nti batuuka mu budde okugenda kukolera mu campaign can review meeting with the agents of different candidates and they all observe that so far so good but on the side of security we feel there is a lot to be done because we still see legal processions, we still see the provocation of our security officers and we will bring this meeting that the agents must stop their candidates, make sure they stop provoking security and also follow the campaign guidelines as stipulated by Electoral.
When you say provocation, on whose campaign do you get provocation?
Well, we are getting those concerns from the candidate of MOVE and the Forum for Democracy. That's where mostly on venues, because these venues are put upon by our security district committees with their agents, but when they get the district, they don't want for those venues, they don't want for them, they want to come into the middle of the town and they are saying ultimately the law must take its course. There is a law, and even in this campaign season, we must make sure the law is followed. So we must make sure the law is followed. They keep provoking. We must also make sure we go back to the law and they follow the law.
Looking at the roads,
well, our cutoffs are always put in areas near the venue because you find some of these venues, besides the venues, there are other economic activities taking place like markets, like the other business activities. So we always implore our candidates and the agents follow the agreed upon rules so that they go to the venue without colliding with the people in the training center.